What is it, Honorable Holtateno?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think, Mr. Speaker, I've not eaten lunch, so I feel like, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, Honorable Holtateno. I know the ruling was made this morning and you have worked under pressure somehow, but proceed.
Absolutely, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to table a report of County Budget and Motion Committee on the Nandi County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2021. I beg to table.
I acknowledge tabling of Nandi County Fiscal Budget report of the County Budget and Appropriation Committee on the Nandi County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2021. The same has been scheduled for discussion for tomorrow afternoon. Next order. Honorable Frederick Kemboi.
Ningependa kupata habari kwa sababu umetoa uamuzi ya kwamba tutaongelea kesho na hatujapewa copies kwa lugha ya Kimombo, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Fair enough, Honorable Fred. Fair enough, Honorable Fred. In the next few minutes, all the members seated here and even those who are not seated here will receive a copy in readiness for the discussion tomorrow afternoon. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Tateno.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion on the report of County Budget and Motion Committee on the CFSP for 2021.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion.
Honorable Charles Jacob Mayo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to move a motion on banning of initiation rights from public roads. Aware that culture is a devolved function, further aware it is a county government's mandate to protect and preserve and promote culture. Further aware, Nandi County is a home to different ethnic communities with different cultural orientations. Appreciating the fact that the Nandi and the Luhya communities are dominant and live side by side harmoniously, appreciating that culture is an integral part of any community. Therefore, efforts should be made to foster its growth and sustainability. Cognizant that the Constitution bestows each individual the right to participate in a community cultural activity. Noting the same Constitution gives its citizens a freedom not to be enjoined in activities against the will, and therefore their lives should not be disrupted by the other culture. Noting that during initiation period by the Luhya community, there has been tendency by the people carrying out initiation rites to march along the public roads, thereby causing long traffic snarl-ups and endangering lives of the initiates and other road users. The House, therefore, urges the CCM for Tourism, Culture, and Social Welfare and any other department to engage the elders of the Luhya community and come up with amicable solution by agreeing on alternative places of carrying out such rites away from public roads and other essential government facilities like hospitals. Mr. Speaker, I come from an area where these activities are done, and usually when we want to move on roads, when the initiates are marched on the road, it causes a lot of difficulty in movement. And it also causes danger to all the movers on the road. Even these people who are dancing on the roads, it is dangerous for them. I remember last year, on the road to Chebakali from Kapsabet, 3 people were killed by a bus when these people were dancing on the road. So many people are of the opinion that these people are given other places to dance and make their rights elsewhere apart from the road. This will make peace and will be peaceful to the road users. One time, along Serem Kubuja Road, one person was killed because of that menace. Therefore, I ask this House to pass this motion so that we can rule out all these people who are using the road. I want to ask Mheshimiwa Philip Chepkwony to second this motion.
I proceed to now propose that the motion on banning of initiation rights from public roads by Honorable Charles Jacob Mayo that has been formally seconded be discussed. Honorable Pius Ing'oei.
Asante sana Bwana Spika, kunipatia hii nafasi ya kuchangia hii motion ambayo imeletwa na Mheshimiwa Mayo. Tumengojea kwa hamu sana, kwa sababu hii mambo ilipofanyika tukawa tunaulizwa na raia kutoka grassroots ya kwamba hii mchezo gani inaendelea katika mabarabara na town. Na kulingana na kimila ya Kinandi, hiyo vitu ya kugonga magari na kutembea kwa barabara haistahili kwa kimila yetu, ambapo labda wazee wale wa zamani ambao walikuwa wanachunga hii Nandi angeweza kuamuka, angeona ya kwamba hapa si Nandi, angeona kama ni mahali pengine. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, na mimi nimesimama kuunga mkono hii hoja ili watu ambao tunatairiwa waende mahali ambapo inastahili, si kwa barabara ama katika town. Nafikiri sitachangia sana, ijapokuwa lazima tuangalie kwa makini, kwa sababu hili jambo ni ya kusikitisha sana. Hatuna amani katika ground huko. Naulizwa na wazee ya kwamba hii mambo gani yanaendelea katika Nandi, kwa sababu tunawakilisha Wanandi. Hata wale ambao ndugu zetu ambao si Wanandi waheshimu heshima ya Nandi, wafuate vile kama nataka kufanya mambo yao afanye kando, si kwa barabara. Asante sana.
Honorable Sanga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Maybe I believe or not we believe. It is if they are doing so in their home counties. I think this thing is not done every month throughout the year. It's only done once, maybe in December or something like that. Maybe on my...
Honorable Sanga, do you feel like being informed by Honorable Robert Kirwa?
No, Honorable Speaker.
You will make your comments, Honorable Robert Kirwa, while you are making your contribution. Proceed.
Okay, thank you. So what I was saying is that maybe we put regulations on specific roads to be used. And if they want to do so, they can apply officially so that on that day, we know that this road is closed for a ceremonial function. Or they use those rural roads, the ones that are not tarmacked. Let us put regulations and allow them to practice their rights. Thank you.
Honorable Philip Chepkwony, before that, Honorable Sanga, then do you support or oppose the motion?
I oppose the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Sanga. I think the members will have to judge. Honorable Philip Chepkwony, then Honorable Fred.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. From the onset, I want to thank the chairman of the committee, Honorable Speaker, and my fellow members of the committee for coming up with the report, Honorable Speaker, on this. Mr. Speaker, indeed, as actually the honorable members actually have said, is we encounter several problems actually in December, Honorable Speaker. I remember one time when we were from Kisumu and we met with those guys and we had to stop, Honorable Speaker. As Honorable Chairs actually put it, is that they were dancing. We had to go the off-road, Honorable Speaker, for them actually to pass. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, if we could actually resist, I think they could actually throw stones to us on our vehicle, Honorable Speaker, which is a wrong thing, Honorable Speaker. From the report of the committee, Mr. Speaker, that we had actually done is that we are not opposing and we are not against any culture, Honorable Speaker. But the way they are conducting, Honorable Speaker, I don't think that is good. As Honorable Sang has put it, no culture can allow some people to be killed. There is no culture that actually allows people to be killed, Honorable Speaker. As much as we respect their culture, they also need to respect the road users. And from the recommendation by the chair is that the CEC should sit down with the members of the Luya community, say that whenever they have such a function, they should notify the department and be allocated and be given some specific roads, as Honorable Sang has put it. We have so many feeder roads, but not to block, Honorable Chair, or to use the main road. Last year, we had a curfew, which was starting around 7. And you know, this is the main road. And most of the people are using these. People who are traveling all the way from Nairobi to Malava. Someone was expecting that I should reach Malava by around 7 p.m. You find you will be stuck in Kapsabet. The only reason is that there are some boys who are dancing around here. And they are given a room to dance all the way from here to Viga. So, Honorable Speaker, it will be in order for the department to come up with, to start with the members of the Luya.
Hao watoke kwa barabara, watafutiwe mahali wanafanya hiyo kazi yao. Kwa sababu sisi kama Wakalenjin kuna mahali sisi tunafanyia. Mheshimiwa Speaker, hawa huwa wanaanzia shughuli wanapitia town katikati. Hapo town kuna biashara, kuna wagonjwa. Mheshimiwa Speaker, ukiangalia mambo kama hiyo unaona ni ngumu sana Mheshimiwa Speaker. Hakuna siku ati tunasema ati, na unajua hapa town kuna wale wamefanya biashara kama supermarket hapa. Wanawacha vifaa yote nje, kuna mchele, kuna manguo iko hapo nje. Wakiona hao watu wanaanza kusanya ndani Mheshimiwa Speaker. Mimi ni mheshimiwa wao, lakini wote waungi mkono hiyo maneno Mheshimiwa Speaker. Mimi ningependa tuseme ya kwamba sisi kama county government ya Nandi tukupaliane. Kama kuna mahali kama showground, wakitoka mstuni wakuja waimbe showground, wakimaliza warudi pale. Vile nimesoma hii mswada vile mheshimiwa ameandika. Amesema atafutie mahali mzuri. Mheshimiwa Speaker, ukiangalia siku yenye hao watu wanafanya hivyo Mheshimiwa Speaker, kule Kamoba, na nafikiri chief wa Kamoba, hiyo mwaka yote watu walipigana. Wale Wakalenjin na hao watu walipigana mbaya sana. Kule Kamoba mpaka tukaitwa. Wale wanapitia kwa hii njia Farida Karone, wale wanapitia Pandei. Lakini Warenji wanakata shortcut wanaenda kupiga wale wanapigana, ilikuwa ngumu. Lakini ndio nikasema hii mswada imefanya mzuri ili wakae chini waangalie ni wapi wanafaa hao watu wafanye hiyo mkutano yao. Na hiyo ni kimila ifanywe kwa barabara. Na nashangaa Mheshimiwa Speaker, wakati wanaanza kimila yao wanafanya kando. Wakati wanamaliza kwa barabara. Kwa nini? Wamalize yote kama yetu huko msituni, watoke sisi tukuje tuwakaribishe na waendelee. Mheshimiwa Speaker, mimi nikiwa mheshimiwa hapa Kapsabet kuna kiwanja ya show nje. Kila siku huwa wanafanyia pale, lakini kutoka sasa unaona wanatoka nje, wanapita kwa barabara. Mambo mengi imekuwa ngumu Mheshimiwa Speaker. Na sisi hatuna ubaya yote na kabila yote. Ukiangalia wale wa kanisa wakiimba ukienda kama chechi la wokovu, wanatembea tu barabara. Lakini uzuri wako na watu yao ya kusimamia ni watu wa kanisa. Lakini hii ndio imekuwa ngumu kwa sababu inaleta vita na imekuwa shida mingi Mheshimiwa Speaker. Mheshimiwa Speaker, kuna hii sheria iko Kenya na ni watu ya neema wako naye. Nilikuwa nashangaa kwa nini kanisa wakati wanataka kufanya mkutano town wanaambiwa wakate license, walipe municipal, walete barua ya neema. Kwa nini hao watu waambiwi? Kwa sababu ni maajabu sana. Hao watu wangeambiwa walete barua ya neema, na tena kwa hiyo barua ya county unaambiwa ni wapi unafanya. Tunataka tena hao watu hata kama barua itakuwa free, lakini waambiwe ni wapi ndio wanaenda kufanya hiyo mkutano. Na ya kwanza lazima chief msio wa mitaa hapo aambiwe. Ndio sasa aanze kuambia wananchi kuna mkutano itaendelea, kuna mkutano ya utamaduni itafanyika hapa. Hiyo ndio unaona sisi tumeunga mkono mheshimiwa kwa sababu imekuwa ngumu. Mimi nikiwa hapa Kapsabet, wananchi wanauliza nini inaendelea. Nikamwambia si ni Kenya, lakini inakuwa ngumu. Lakini tunataka tutengeneze sheria, wafuate sheria, wachukue muda ya kuangalia kwamba hao watu tuseme usuri yao ni baada ya mwaka 5. Hiyo miaka 5 waandike notification letter ya kwamba watakuwa na mkutano siku fulani, watafanya sherehe siku fulani. Na hiyo ndio tunataka tufanye hivyo. Na nimesema mimi naunga mkono hii mswada, tupitishe ndio iendelee hivyo vile tunataka Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Honorable Jane Jepkoech.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Hata mimi nataka kuunga mkono hii motion kwa sababu hii jambo nilikuwa nafikiri tuliongelea siku nyingine hapo, sijui tulikuwa na kundi gani, lakini ilikuwa samani tukisema hii mambo, na nimefurahi sana vile nilisikia, na mimi naunga mkono kwa sababu hii accident ya watu wanatoa, hata kama si mimi nilikuwa nataka tu kumwambia Sanga, hata kama si kila mwezi, lakini na wakishaleta hii accident itakuwa hasara. Hasa nilikuwa nasema hivi, wacha tu watu waende wafanye hizo vitu zao penye anajua, waambie waende wafanye huko kwa msituni wale wetu, na kwa sababu si lazima ikuwe road, kwani ni lazima si wafanye mahali pengine ya, kwa sababu hata wakilinga magari na mawe, si wataleta accident tena kwa hizo magari, na wakiambia walipe sasa watakataa, watasema ni kimila yetu. Sasa hiyo nimekata kusaidia kusema hiyo au watu waendelee. Wacha hiyo, nimeunga mkono hiyo motion. Wacha hiyo.
Honorable Kirongo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I oppose the motion, Mr. Speaker. Yes, that is why when you bring such a motion, I should ask you if you live in a cosmopolitan area. But if you bring the motion when you lead only one community, Mr. Speaker, then you become unfair to some of us. Mr. Speaker, since I was born, these people have been practicing their culture. They've been peaceful. Mr. Speaker, it will be unwise for me during my leadership, Mr. Speaker, to tell them it is not right. Mr. Speaker, during that time, they normally invite me. I sit with them, we preach peace, and we give them some mechanism, Mr. Speaker, on how they carry their things, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, we have three communities, Mr. Speaker. Others, they perform the initiation after 10 years. Others, 5 years. And then Tiriki, at least, they balance 5 years, 3 years. So, Mr. Speaker, I have not seen any problem. These people come from, in fact, for them, if you can console me an MCA from Jepkumia. Yes, MCA from Jepkumia. Mr. Speaker, they are very peaceful. I think what we should be doing is maybe invite people like Fred, MCA Kiptuya, MCA Kabwareng, Kapkangan, and say Kobujoy, so that we sit with these people. But, Mr. Speaker, if we pass such motion, Mr. Speaker, we are becoming unfair. It's not only this Luya community. In my ward, Mr. Speaker, even the Kalenjins, I normally have problems with them because it's not even, culture. At times they normally come to the households. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, we have problems in every community. But, Mr. Speaker, it will be unfair that we tell these people don't do this. Let us devise another mechanism that we can enlighten them. But passing such a motion, Mr. Speaker, in my sincere note, I say it is unfair. And not just unfair, Mr. Speaker, it is not practical. Come to my place, Kiptuya and Jepkumia, I don't know how you will tell them.
and they've been performing, Mr. Speaker. You know, but if you compare even these communities and the ones from Bungoma, Tiriki, they are better. They are far much better than those guys. I was privileged to go to Uganda, Mr. Speaker. It is even worse. Give us time, Mr. Speaker, so that at least if there's something bending, we discuss with them, so that we come up with a good structures, Mr. Speaker, good laws, so that it does not appear that we are infringing the culture of a certain community. Mr. Speaker, I beg to oppose. As an NPC of Kapkangani, you know, that is a cosmopolitan area, and if you bring such a motion, Mr. Speaker, then it is unfair to us. I oppose, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Nyaundu,
Utulishaji, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
whom do you want to inform, Honorable Fred? Because Honorable Kirongo has also left today. There is no provision that you can inform the House, Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa, inaniruhusu nijulishe bunge, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Which standing order, Honorable Fred?
I will give you the standing order now.
Yes. Consult the standing order. Honorable Nyaundu.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now, a motion is just a motion, like the one which has been forwarded here. But a motion, this is a very respected place. This is a place where we are not going to encourage tribalism. I wish the mover of the motion.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
I wish
Standing
the mover
order,
of.
Honorable Mengich.
Yeah. Is it in order for Honorable Nyaundu to mislead the County Assembly that this motion is about ethnicity? Is it about tribalism? This motion is about a retrogressive culture, a dangerous culture, not about ethnicity.
Maybe Honorable Nyaundu.
Excuse me,
Yes,
let me
yes,
just continue.
Honorable Fred.
You would have listened the first.
Order, Honorable Nyaundu. Order, Honorable
Pengine
Nyaundu.
namba 90, Mheshimiwa.
Order,
Which
Honorable
order?
Nyaundu.
Which order now?
Order, Honorable
Pengine
Nyaundu.
namba
Yes.
90, Mheshimiwa Speaker, inasema wasi yale Mheshimiwa wote akiongea lazima athibitishe yale anasema. Ukiona paragrafu ya mwisho, Mheshimiwa Speaker, Mheshimiwa ameandika ya kwamba viongozi wao wakae chini watoe uamuzi ya hiyo. Hakuna vile mswada alifanya hivyo. Na Mheshimiwa ameongea iko kwa sheria akisema kwamba sisi tumetumia ukabila, Mheshimiwa Speaker. Hakuna mahali. Ukiangalia mswada, Mheshimiwa Speaker, inaandika wazi ya kwamba wakae chini wasiri na viongozi wao watoe uamuzi. Tusomee paragrafu ya mwisho, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Thank you for your orders. But what I want to tell you is
Order,
one.
Honorable Nyaundu.
Yes.
Proceed. You are protected. Make your point. Base yourself on the fact that
Honorable Speaker.
the contents. Order, Honorable Mengich.
Before you, Honorable Speaker, allow me to say this. In your ruling, you should rule her out of order, because if she pursues that line of thought that this motion is about tribalism, Honorable Speaker, it will not be fair if she proceeds with that statement.
Honorable Mengich, I think that is clearly what order, Honorable Nyaundu. That is clearly what I was making direction on that matter. That Honorable Nyaundu, you are free to oppose or support the motion. Base your arguments on the wordings and the content of the motion. If you are talking of tribalism, quote the specific section in the motion that seems to give connotation of tribalism. Because any motion before the House goes through the legal mechanism within the County Assembly. And that include, there can never be an approval of a motion that is so, that is not objective in its nature. So members, as Honorable Kirongo, Honorable Sanga has opposed the motion, let us oppose based on the facts and the contents of the motion. Proceed.
I wish I would have been given time to finish even one sentence. Because when you say only 2 words, you have not even completed the sentence. Then you don't understand yourself.
Proceed, Honorable Nyaundu, you are
Yes,
protected.
I'm proceeding and I'm saying this. We are here as Nandi community. We are not here as Luyas and Nandi. The word Luya is the one I referred to. I wish we would have just said some communities in Nandi do this and they have to stop it. But when it was particularized is when I got interested. There is no problem. I just wanted to say this. It is good even that word is there, including me and you. Everybody has got his own way of life and you'll never change it. We are people who go to church, others go to drink, and that is what it is. So when we live together, you leave somebody to do his way, live his own way of life. I think this ethnic group, they normally have initiation every after 5 years. And this is what they have been doing all the way through. Maybe I support my MCA for Kapkangani by saying that these people they just sat down and they told them, we don't want to see the people dancing naked. And they obeyed. They don't dance naked. So some of these things we can talk, that when you are on the road, use it this way, not banning them from dancing. In fact, it is quite unfortunate that I'm Aluya, and even when you look at me right now, I'm dancing. You know, that is our nature. There is nothing we do without dancing. That is why even in church we have to dance on the road. That is why when there is even a funeral, we dance. That is our nature. And now we are a Nandi community and we are a Nandis. And even when we go on the other side, they refer to us as Nandis. So the best thing here is just to say, if there is something which went wrong, it should be corrected. But remember, everybody does his way, his own things, his own way. And I would say this, we also have our own natives here. Right now, my younger sister, she has got a deformed finger, the small one, whereby she was beaten by the Nandi warriors at night. It was between 7:30 and 2 p.m. in the evening. What were they doing on the road? They are always there also beating people in the evening. When they found you between that time, you are beaten. So these things are vice versa. I don't think that we can say here we want to ban a certain community not to do the things they want to do. That one, I would have used another word, but you'll tell me to apologize. Let me leave it there. This one, I don't support it because whoever wrote he never thought it twice. He thought in terms of Luyas, not community. If it was community, it would have been balanced so that we say, others do this, let them stop. Then we find a way of approaching. I oppose this motion. This is now the motions we should bring here. Let us bring things which are going to build our Nandi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Joshua Ngetich.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. On my onset,
Order, honorable members, consult in low tones. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I want to tell my honorable members, maybe they have misunderstood what the motion is saying. This motion is not banning any community from performing the rituals. In fact, what the motion is saying is that they want to save lives for the road users and for those communities who normally perform their rituals along the roads. And in conclusion, they have said the elders maybe to sit with the CCM and then see a better way of doing it rather than along the roads. So who have said now, unless I don't understand this English. So I think this motion is not banning any community from performing it is only how we should do it. Even the Kalenjins. Maybe one time they will say, do it in a particular place. We know that our forefathers used to do it maybe inside the bushes. Now we are almost coming outside. We should also, maybe at a certain time, we should tell them to retreat to where those things used to be done. I think that is what this motion means, Honorable Speaker. So we are not against any community. This motion is not against any community. It is only trying to see how we can save lives. Honorable Mayo said that 3 people lost lives. And that is our concern. We should not, people should not lose life because of petty. If we can avoid it, why don't we avoid it? So I support this motion, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Mengech.
Honorable Speaker.
And honorable members, whenever you are not on the floor, switch off your microphones. Proceed, Honorable Mengech.
Honorable Speaker, initiation rights are sacred. The intent of the mover of the motion, the intention of Honorable Mayo, as Fred has kept saying here, and in agreement with Honorable Kirongo, the last paragraph is very important. Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry because Honorable Nyauntu has felt offended, but the intent of this motion is good. A few months ago, I don't know whether it was December, I was driving from Kisumu, reaching after, is it Kapsasur? I met, I don't know, I will call them a mob of these people escorting their sons who had just been initiated. And they really harassed me and other motorists. I felt bad. Of course, I had to go to the roadside and waited for them to pass. The harassment, the verbal and physical harassment to other motorists was unwarranted. Honorable Speaker, the last paragraph is very important. Honorable Kirongo here said the communities, I don't know who these are, elders of the Luya community can come up with amicable solution by agreeing on alternative places of carrying out such rights away from public roads. Honorable Speaker, maybe Honorable Kirongo, Honorable Nyauntu, I don't know, usually people create laws that affect others, not themselves. I'm looking forward to a day Honorable Kirongo and Honorable Nyauntu will find themselves in the middle of that team when they are driving on these roads, and they'll come back here and ask Honorable Mayo to bring back this motion. Honorable Kirongo and Honorable Nyauntu, this is not against any cultural right, but discussing bringing back the sanity and the discipline of our cultural rights. Of course, even if you attend our cultural rights today, it is so chaotic. I believe Honorable Singoya will agree with me. It's very chaotic, unlike what used to happen in the past. I have seen also this one among the cultural rights of the Tiriki and the Maragoli. Very chaotic, which is not the intent of the cultural rights. Until we have difficult conversations like this one, we are not going to change our societies on the Bukirongo. You know, this one is beyond the aspect of protecting your votes. This is about protecting generations to come. Is that the way culture should be? Are they supposed to be rowed on the roads? No. That is not the initial Maragoli and Tiriki and other rights. I respect cultural rights of every community. I'm a strong proponent of keeping our cultures. And this is not against culture. It is returning to the original culture of these communities, which Honorable Kirongo, you are in that position. Honorable Nyauntu, you are in that position to talk to these communities so that they can protect the sacred nature of their cultures. Otherwise, as Honorable Mayo has said, how would you feel this year or next year or coming years attending funerals for people who have been mowed down the road because you wanted to keep that rowdy culture on the roads, the chaotic nature of a culture? So, Honorable Speaker, I support this motion, but finally I would say this. Looking at the nature of those who manage our affairs in the county, how are they going to implement this? Yeah, if they cannot implement, if they cannot even mark parking sites on our roads, how are they going to manage this difficult one, which involves a lot of persuasion. How are they going to manage? So, Honorable Mayor, as I support this motion, the biggest hurdle is how are you going to implement it? How are you going to engage the elders? Thank you.
Honorable Teresa Mayo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for finally giving me the chance to stand strongly to support this motion that I think has come very timely. I would like to thank Honorable Mayo, who is the Chair, Tourism and Culture, for bringing up this motion. The words of the motion are very friendly. They are actually very considerate to every other community. Around December or November there, I happened to have been within town towards Kamobo. And I met this community, I don't know whether it was Luya or Kisi or whichever, who were dancing seriously along the road. It was not actually dancing. Some were running, some were doing a lot of merry alongside children of all ages. Honorable Speaker, others were below 5 years. They were dressed properly in traditional attires, carrying weapons of all sizes, sorts. The weapons were man-made weapons, cans. Some were carrying images of serious snakes, and the sight was scary. So apart from the culture, there are a lot of inconveniences when they come to the roads, like blocking the road, causing a lot of inconvenience. These children of all ages are being risked because along both sides are elders who are so rowdy, they can easily stampede even on these young children who are either passing out from initiation or going there. So human life is seriously endangered in the process. Both for those who are being initiated, the ones who are on the road performing or witnessing and enjoying the dances, and also the road users. It becomes so difficult to drive along such a road. It's almost not possible. And I like the motion because it's not talking of banning them from doing their rights. It's about looking for a solution, a suitable place where the same can be done without any interference to anyone. Of course, as Kalenjins, our dances are never seen even by women. They are done outside, except those ones during the time we can be allowed to be there. We appreciate that culture is culture, and we appreciate the fact that we are living in a cosmopolitan area. We appreciate that we have people who have come to live with us, and we will understand their cultures only if it can happen without interfering with anyone else's activities or businesses. So I support this motion, and the sooner it is done, the better, because I know as children finish exams, those who had not done in December are likely to do it this April, and we would really like to be saved the trouble and the scare. I remember I did not sleep that night because the sight of the weapons and the things the children were carrying. I was lucky to have been invited to Kapkangani. A friend of mine invited me to the house where a small boy was being celebrated for having been initiated. Of course, I
I did not enjoy because I was seeing my child, a very small 5-year-old, who had just been initiated. So, of course, it's their culture and we must accept that. But honestly, coming to the roads, something else should be done. So I support this motion. Thank you.
Judging by the mood of the House, now call upon the mover of the motion to give a right of reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to appreciate those who have taken this time to talk on this motion.
Honorable Mayo, is your mic on?
Yeah, it is. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate what my colleagues have said. This motion was written to save life, but not to accuse any community. As I said in the beginning, I come from a ward that I have over 5,000 Luhya community, and they do that practice. I don't like the practice of moving on the road. As I said in the beginning, one person was killed, and I would not have been. I don't like that, that issue to have happen because we safeguard life. So the intention of this motion is to make a place where they can do their initiation rites in the right place. So I don't oppose any Luhya community doing their rights. I don't oppose any other community, the Kisi community. I don't oppose any other, even Nandis are beginning to do their suye in quotes on the roads, and that we don't like. Sinamnaivo, that is the way it is now. So I want to support the ideas of the members who have said positively so that we can make these things be in the right place. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I proceed to now put the question that this House adopts the motion on banning of initiation rights on our public roads. Will as many as of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay?
Nay.
Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
The House stand adjourned in the next normal sitting.